Hello class, let us try an example question on consumable items with adjustments. We are going to try question number 21 from the book T.S. Grewal, page 1.60. Question number 21. Given here is some information. On the basis of this information, calculate the amount of medicines to be debited to income and expenditure account of Good Health Hospital for the year ended 31st March 2019. The accounting year is 2018-19, where the opening date is 1st of April 2018 and the closing date is 2018 31st March 2019. Given stock of medicines, opening stock, closing stock. Creditors for medicine, that is creditors in the beginning of the year and creditors at the end of the accounting year. With this, you are also told that the medicines purchased during the year ended for the accounting year were the amount 60,80,700. So when we have to find out the amount of medicines consumed, we have to calculate that amount from the information here. So to find this, we will be starting with the medicines purchased during the year ended, and this is where you will start with. Now there's information in the form of stock of medicine and creditors of medicine. We need to be careful with this situation because as you are given medicines purchased, now this purchase of medicine will be including both cash, medicines purchased in cash and also on credit. It's not specifically mentioned that like in what form these medicines have been purchased. So it may include cash and credit. So we have to assume that this is including both cash purchase and credit purchase. So we will be taking medicines purchased during the year. And to this, you are going to only treat the stock of medicines. Since from total what purchase have been made, this has to be adjusted only with the opening stock of medicine and closing stock of medicines. Here in this case, we are not going to consider the creditors for medicines, since as I mentioned, this purchase of medicine will be including certain part as credit purchase. So the creditors amount is already involved in this value. So in this case, we are not going to consider creditors of medicine at all during our calculation. So the adjustment treatment for finding the amount of consumable item is like you must start with the consumable purchased. In this case, it is medicines purchased. So we take the medicines purchased during the year 60,80,700, and to this you are going to add the opening stock of medicine, means this amount, because the opening stock is what you are going to use during the accounting year. During the year 2018-19, we are going to use the part of this stock. So this has to be added, and the closing stock of medicines will be deducted because this stock is not being used during this year. It will be used in the following year. So this will be deducted. So as we will see the calculation of amount of medicines to be debited or medicines consumed, you can see the solution over here. I have taken the medicines purchased during the year 60,80,700. To this we have to add opening stock of medicines 1,75,750, and the closing stock of medicines 1,44,650 has been deducted. Closing stock to be deducted. And as we do the computation, the amount that comes is 61,11,800 is the medicines consumed during the year, and this is the amount which you will be debiting to income and expenditure account in the expenditure side, since medicine consumed is an expenditure. You can match it with the answer over here. So this is the amount which is to be debited to income and expenditure account. In this case, we should not be considering the creditors for medicines, and the reason for that I have already explained to you. Let's take one more question on the same adjustment, question number 22. Now here the question number 22 states to find out the amount of medicines consumed. Given the information below, opening stock of medicines, opening creditors for medicines, cash purchase of medicines, closing stock of medicines, and closing creditors for medicines. So we shall find out what will be the medicines consumed during the year, or what amount should we debit to the income and expenditure account. This time you are given cash purchase of medicines. So the amount of medicine purchase here is in the form of cash purchases. So we'll start with the cash purchase of medicines, which is 3 lakh. Now since it is cash purchase of medicines, at this time you should be considering the opening and closing creditors. We have to consider the opening and closing creditors because the purchase of medicines provided to us is cash. That means we have no information about the creditors. How much of medicines we have purchased on credit. So that will be adjusted only when we consider this opening creditors and closing creditors. So here we'll take cash purchase of medicines as already taken here. With this we'll be adding opening stock of medicines. The opening stock of medicines, which is amounting to 1 lakh. Okay, I'll write these in the inner column. Opening creditors for medicine should be deducted. Its amount is 90,000. Then the information in the question has closing stock of medicines 1,50,000 and closing creditors of medicine 1,30,000. So closing stock of medicine has to be deducted. Closing stock is always deducted. It's 1,50,000 and the closing creditors for medicine should be added. Because the creditors which is at the end of the accounting year is the creditor belonging to this current period. The opening creditors were creditors for the previous year, so those were deducted, and this is for the previous year, so it is deducted. This is for the current year, so added. As in the income and expenditure account, we have to consider the items that belongs to the current year. So this, in this case, you may total these two amount, which is 2,30,000. At the same time, we'll total these two, which will come to 2,40,000. But mind it, this amount is less, so I have to use it for subtracting. So here when we will do the total calculation, 3 lakh plus 2,30,000 minus 2,50,000 will give us the amount 2,90,000, and this is the amount that will be called as medicines consumed during the year, and it will be taken as expenditure, or this is the amount to be debited to income and expenditure account. So this is how you must give the accounting treatment of adjustments relating to consumable items. Now it may be related to stationery, or it may be related to some sports material. Thank you.